Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today I want to talk about a legitimate crisis that has unfolded right here in the United States that I feel like a lot of us who especially live pretty privileged lives here in the United States never really have seen coming. Obviously, one of the things that makes life great about being an American on average is that on average, the quality of life here is a lot better than it is in most places around the world. One thing that most Americans can say is they have clean drinking water to use every single day. They have power and electricity to their house. Most of us even have internet access, so we can spend our leisure time online arguing with one another on Twitter. But unfortunately, the basic needs of human beings have been basically destroyed within a pretty major city within the United States. And it's led nearly 150,000 people to be without clean drinking and usable water in their own city. I feel like most Americans can agree that no American should ever go without clean water. No American should ever miss out on the necessities in life, right? As a country, and especially one that puts itself on the pedestal of being one of, if not the best country in the world, we should be able to say that this shouldn't be an issue. I think we can all come to agreeance on that, but today we'll be talking about the water crisis that has unfolded in the city of Jackson, Mississippi. Now, of course, this isn't the first water crisis to hit the United States. Things happen, things fall beyond, in disrepair and whatnot. We've been hearing for years about the Flint, Michigan water crisis, but it just feels pretty insane that even here in the United States, there's people who deal with issues like this, and it's due to just such significant screw-ups by the government that situations like this unfold. So, as Mississippi's capital city entered a fourth day on Thursday with little or no water flowing from faucets, authorities were scrambling to get a failing water treatment plant plagued by decades of deferred maintenance back online. The problem, which comes on top of a boil water notice in effect for more than a month, has upended life in the city of roughly 150,000 residents. Where schools were shuttered this week, businesses are forced to adapt, and people have had to wait in long lines for bottled water they can use to drink, cook, or brush their teeth. After days of work on the plant, including Wednesday's installation of a rental pump, significant gains were made by Thursday morning, and water pressure is returning in some areas, city officials said. Areas closer to the plant, quote, are experiencing almost normal pressure, while areas farther away still have low to no pressure, they said. Quote, we made some positive gains within the system. We are encouraged, Jackson Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba said in a news conference on Thursday. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell will head to Friday to Jackson. CNN has learned President Joe Biden has approved an emergency declaration for Jackson, which the governor said will let Mississippi tap into critical resources to respond to the crisis. The tap water problem came to a head on Monday when river flooding nudged an already damaged main treatment plant to failure, meaning many of Jackson's faucets were delivering barely, if any, water. In some cases, the water has been brown. City residents have already been told to boil their water since late July because of quality concerns, and the water system has been troubled for years. Alright, so first and foremost, there's been a boil advisory already in place since late July, right? Because of concerns with the water quality. In a city of 150,000 people, realistically in a city anywhere in the United States, we should not be having consistent concerns like this, especially ones that last such a long time. I mean, once again, we as Americans claim that we have one of the best, if not the best country in the world. We have one of the best qualities of life, but yet there's 150,000 cities that are going without clean drinking water, right? Now, the main reason that this all happened is because a water treatment plant that has been failing for a while, apparently, has been plagued by decades of deferred maintenance. That is crucial. Decades of deferred maintenance. So we're not talking about, oh, they haven't been able to pass like the taxes or whatever to handle this for 5 years. We're talking about local officials for decades pushing back repairs on this plant. And keep in mind, it's not like they didn't know the consequences that could potentially happen if they weren't to repair the plant and fix it. I mean, it's critical. It's part of the water supply for all of these people. This is a genuine crisis, you know what I mean, on your hands if something were to happen. And unfortunately, something did happen because decades of deferred maintenance, you know what I mean? That goes beyond just one person being responsible. That's like a systemic issue. Obviously, especially in like city official roles, people don't serve their entire lives on the board or whatever, right? And even if they do, and you're talking decades of deferred maintenance, that's generations of people who have come into the city government, into the state government, into the federal government that have overlooked this entire situation for so long and treated it as a non-issue, essentially kicking the can down the road, just hoping that one day it doesn't explode back in their face, until now, of course, when it exploded back in 150,000 people's face. So the federal government's involved. Biden has actually passed a emergency declaration for the city, and FEMA's administrator will be heading on Friday to the city. They're trying to get this whole situation basically fixed as soon as possible, which is a good thing, right? Like, it is a good thing that this is being finally taken seriously and people in the government are finally stepping in to handle the water needs of this city. But I think we can all agree on one thing here, right? Why did it take so long? Why do people have to wait so long to get the bare necessities, right? We're not even talking about, like, I would say like a luxury here. I'm under the belief that having clean drinking water, especially in the United States, is a fundamental human right. I mean, you literally need water to survive. You need water to brush your teeth, to take a clean shower. I mean, we're talking about the dignity of human beings here. 150,000 human beings, like, no one in this country should ever have to worry about turning their faucet on and the water coming out brown. I don't care if you live in the deepest valleys of Montana or West Virginia. I don't care where you live. And you have to think, it's not like this is some rural community where the government, you know, maybe just doesn't get to them as much as they would an urban area. This is the capital city of an entire state. Mississippi's capital city. There's 150,000 people who live here, man. What kind of example is this supposed to set, you know? While authorities rush to make repairs, get needed parts, and deal with staffing shortages at Jackson's water plants, the crisis is upending daily life. Residents are seeing cloudy, discolored water coming out of their faucets and are being told it should be adequate for sanitation purposes. They can't use the water to drink, cook, or wash dishes, but they can shower and wash their hands with it, officials said. Please make sure in the shower that your mouth is not open, Jim Craig, Senior Deputy and Director of Health Protection at the Mississippi Department of Health, told residents Wednesday, adding pets also should not consume the water. It's not known when residents will no longer have to boil water, and that can't be assessed until the water pressure returns to normal, the mayor has said. Residents have endured long lines to get bottled water and non-drinking water at distribution sites operated by the city. Some sites this week ran out of water and turned people away. The state Thursday opened 7 new sites for distributing bottled water in addition to city distribution sites, Reeves said. As an American, like, it's embarrassing. And I know I keep kind of focusing on as an American, right? But once again, we as a country always claim we're the best country in the world. We're the freest, safest, most prosperous country in the world. Yet there's people in a capital city of one of our states that have to line up outside for bottled water. And not even that, you know, it's getting bad enough. The water demand is getting bad enough due to the government's abject failures in that area that they're actually running out of bottled water and people are being turned away basically with nothing to help themselves with. Like, I mean, this should be seen as a problem by more people, you know what I mean? Like, our country should be viewing this as more or less a national crisis, I feel like. Yeah, sure, only 150,000 people are affected, not millions, but once again, this is like an issue that just simply should not be happening here, man. I mean, I understand that issues happen, and there's different, you know, circumstances that cause different things, but it's clear that the culprit in this incident is simply just government mismanagement and people neglecting the basic needs of people, and that should never happen. So hopefully there's a good resolution to this entire situation. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, just simply confused, man, and signing out.